I think the biggest point is that we're cooked, 250k in, and we had a little few interesting segments. We had sort of swamp, we had paddock, we rode along a field, like an agricultural field. That was sort of it looked like cabbage leaves actually, and some quicksand. So yeah, lots of mud, and I sort of had I had some demon periods back there, and I didn't have to say anything because you already knew. But yeah, home stretch. Nonetheless, it's still feels like a long way to go.
Well, that was a little snippet from our episode last week, the MAAP to Rad, the ride with my good friend Pat Drapac from the MAAP Lab here in Melbourne across to Adelaide in time for the start of TDU. What a whirlwind that was, and the TDU to follow, a huge start to the year. Very cool to have the podcast up and running because that was, of course, our first step to kick things off for 2024. But now I have for you the first Talking Luft of the year, being brought to you by, of course, our partner MAAP. MAAP is performance cycling apparel and cycling kits coming right out of here, Melbourne. But I'm back home now. I'm back into my normal routine, up with the kids early in the morning, and I'm starting my day with AG1. Taking care of your health isn't always easy, but it should be at least simple. And that's why for the last 3 years, I've been drinking AG1 every day. 1 scoop mixed with water. I like throwing a little bit of ice into once a day, every day. It just makes me feel really good. That's because each serving of AG1 delivers a daily dose of vitamins, minerals, pre and probiotics, and lots more. It's a powerful, healthy habit, and it's also really simple. What I've really noticed also is starting my day with AG1, it really slows me down. It allows me to take time in the morning with the kids. It's not a meal replacement, but what I'm finding is if I'm having AG1 and then waiting a few hours before I have my first thing to eat for the day, I'm allowing all those nutrients to be absorbed on an empty stomach, and it gives me this really balanced energy levels to follow throughout the day. I do notice when I don't take AG1 that I'm on a different trajectory for the day. I'm sort of scratching around, I'm looking for bits of food, and my energy levels are following in suit. I'm continually up and down. If there's one product I recommend to elevate your health, it's AG1, and that's why I've partnered with them for so long. So if you want to take ownership in your health, start with AG1. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3, K2, and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase exclusively at drinkag1.com/lifeinthepeloton. That's drinkag1.com/lifeinthepeloton. Like I said, we're talking Luft, and if you're new to Life in the Peloton, you're like, what the hell is talking Luft? Well, Luft is simply referring to the air between the top of your head and your hat. You know, that little space between. Back in the old days when the pros used to just race with a cap on their head, it was all about who could perch the hat on their heads with the highest and greatest amount of Luft. A ridiculously rude look, I can tell you. And one of my favourites being Big Mig, Miguel Indurain. And now here at Life in the Peloton, we're talking Luft. We're talking not only about how you wear your cap, your casquette, your capellino, but everything to do with cycling style, culture, and whatever other silly question I can conjure up to find out more about our guests in a pretty lighthearted way. This week, we have my journeyman, Pat Drapac, with us. We're going to ask him all the questions, plus we're going to recap some more of that Adelaide trip. Just before we jump into it, I spoke about it last week, and I've seen lots of people have gone and joined up the Pelo, the Life in the Peloton Club. That's awesome if you're one of those people who have jumped on board, and I love having you alongside me in the echelon, or if you're down the back, dangerously living in the doom line. Because this Friday, we have our first episode release of the new series, Life in the Peloton Chronicles, exclusively for our Pelo members. This is a brand new series I'm doing with my old mate, Swain Tuft, and we're going to be unpacking some great topics. Our first step is going to be exploring making it to World Tour. We're going to be chatting with guys who have recently made it, guys who didn't, team scouts, directors, all trying to unearth what it takes to make that step into the fast-changing world of World Tour cycling. If you haven't signed up, don't worry, there's still time. Plus, there's much more on offer for you. go across to lifeinthepeloton.com and sign up to the Pelo before the end of January as well, because I've got a cheeky discount there for you as well. Guys, let's get into it, and I bring you Talking Luft with Patrick Drapac. Mate, where are we?
We are at the Adelaide Central Market, which is essentially next to the race village.
Well, I probably should have said who we're talking to. We've got Pat Drapac here again.
I thought you might recognise my voice by now.
Yeah, that's right.
I talk a lot.
That's
You can't shut me up.
I reckon the listeners have loved hearing your voice in the last podcast. So I got you back for Talking Luft. But before we do that, we're at this amazing Sambo joint.
Sambo?
That's the thing. We were talking about this on the way in. Sambo.
Sando?
It's Sando.
D. I mean, look.
Where does that come in? Because I've always been like, mate, you want a Sambo? You're like, yeah, I'll grab a Sambo.
Look, I think it's a condensed version of the word sandwich, so the D makes the most sense. I don't know where they're
total sense.
ripping the B from.
Why
Sambo.
do I say Sambo?
I kind of think it's like someone just got it wrong, and it was almost like
did I get it wrong, or have you heard that anywhere
It's like
else?
getting the lyric to a song wrong, and it just like somehow starts to sort of like roll into the public's vocab. But yeah, let's go with Sambo right now, because it's wrong.
Well, it's really cool in here, and I thought about recording with you in here because it is really fun. The Adelaide markets, it's bustling in here. Mate, tell me a little bit about like the Victorian market as well. It's really cool. The Queen Vic market, Adelaide market. You've been popping across here every day.
Yeah.
Like, it's fresh fruit, everything. Why do you love coming to markets?
I mean, I think it's like, not to, like, the obvious is like just fresh, typically local produce. I think like the Adelaide market is unique as well, because I think you can come in and not just buy food, but sit down and have a coffee and have a Sambo, whatever you want to call it. But the quality is like, it's sick. I think Adelaide's known for its food and drink. I mean, the atmosphere as well, people watching. I think there are, like, you come for a bunch of different reasons. But I've been here the last 3 days straight. So like, I've been going to this sandwich place, and I think like it's one of the things I look forward to every year that I come to the Tour Down Under.
There's something different people. Like, you got market people and you got people who just go to the supermarket, and obviously convenience, that's sometimes a factor as well. But my mum's a massive sort of market goer.
Yeah.
But I think it's also just that interaction you get with, the store owner, and you look at the produce, and I get the feeling like you being a chef and just the way you've grown up as well. It's about seeing and feeling and talking to the grower or the producer about, mate, what do we got here,
100%.
Where's this meat from? Tell me about these.
You suss them. You suss them out. I mean, you can tell a lot on the aesthetic, but I think the kind of stall holders are typically pretty funny. They're funny, kooky people.
Creating that relationship. Mate, give me two for $1.
Yeah. You hustle a little bit, You want to bargain them down. I think I love that kind of aspect of markets as well. But yeah, it's just good energy. I think. Look, I know everyone doesn't have the time to go down and sort of like mosey around the farmers market or a local market, but yeah, it's just a nice thing to do. And for me, like, being a chef, I can get some sick produce. It's inspiring.
What about on the other side, when you were going to the farmers markets and you were selling? It's got some of these Sambos coming out now. They look good.
Yeah.
Emily's sandwiches.
I mean, they was wrapped up, admittedly, but big.
Yeah. What about when you're on the other side as a store owner?
It's look, you got to be
stall owner.
Stall. Yeah, you got to be on all the time.
Did you like the bartering? Mate, give me 2 jars. 2 jars for 20.
I actually hated it. I was like, let's piss off.
Just pay the price.
Yeah. I worked my ass off for this now. I think, look, it's all part of it. But farmers markets are, in Melbourne, they're pretty big, and I started my business there, so it was a platform for me to kind of get my product out. So it was just a bit of a marketing tool. But yeah, it's good. It's good energy. You never know who you're gonna meet as well. I think it's just a big eclectic bunch of people. So,
well, we're gonna get these sandwiches or Sambos, and then we can sit down and talk some luft. Those sandwiches were so good.
Seriously good, right?
What'd you go for?
I went for the ham, pickles, cheddar, but it doesn't, like, that description doesn't really
It was so
do it
thick.
justice.
It was probably about 5 centimeters thick.
It was sort of ham steak almost, like just layers of shaved ham, but it was damn good. Heaps of olive oil, salt, well seasoned, good bread, crusty,
Nice canotto.
a little canotto. We got a little seat at the bar too, you know, the little rare seat.
Like you said, it's a dying breed. You don't see that much sort of stuff in Australia anymore. It sounds like in Italy, it's still like that way.
100%. I think, look, sandwich places, I think sandwiches are pretty, like, you know, in Melbourne, they're a thing. I mean, of course, you could always get a sandwich, but I think, you know, it's a new trend that I'm seeing, but that is better than what we've got.
I got the suppressor one too. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Suppressor. I got some smoked mozzarella on there. It was delicious.
You had some little olive paste.
We went half-half.
Yeah, true. I thought that you had a bit of food envy, so I
shared it.
I kindly offered you a half.
Let's do this talking lump. Let's chat about it. Caps, capellinos, casquettes. Pat, how do you wear your cap? What sort of style do you have?
I would go cap front down, forward brim down. No other iterations. Not backwards. I think in the past I've tried the backwards thing and just, you know, within minutes turned it back round because felt
Don't rate
wrong.
it.
It's wrong. Yeah, I like.
What about him back in the day? If you could have raced, no helmet, what would your style been? Would you have done like a sausage helmet? Would you have done like a headband? Would you just done the capellino? Maybe just hair?
I reckon nothing. I reckon just raw dog.
Because you don't ride with glasses either.
Yeah, I don't
So
like.
you raw dogged it.
I don't like watches. I don't like glasses. I can't. They feel really uncomfortable. So I reckon I would have. I've actually got really curly hair, so potentially could have had long curly hair. But I like to think that I'd have a clean shaved head with nothing. The raw dog look.
Rude, I like it. You still shave your legs or you let them go long?
Religiously.
Shave.
Like,
Always have, even through that time when you weren't riding?
I remember when I first shaved my legs and I was 12 and I was sort of confused as to how the razor worked, and I was trying to like get the hair out of the razor with my fingers. And like, you know how like the cuts take a minute to come through, and I had all of this like blood coming from my fingers. So that was my introduction. But look, it didn't scar me. I do it every week.
And you always have, even through that gap when you weren't riding much?
Forever. Yeah. I reckon max 2 weeks.
Just like the feel.
Yeah.
What about baggies or tight kit on a road bike? What's your opinion there?
Nothing to talk about. Baggies.
Oh,
You mean like just
t-shirts and casual clothes?
I think maybe let me.
Or it's got to be only cycling kit.
All right. I would put, baggies. I don't like the tight feel. I barely like to wear skin suits.
I see. I thought you were going to go the other way. I thought you were going to be like, nah, road bike's got to be kit.
I think I like comfort. I like comfort, and
Some may argue that baggies on a bike is more uncomfortable than kit.
Well, look, I'm imagining really comfy baggies. So, like, you know, I'm not going to wear uncomfy baggies on a road bike. I mean,
that's not going to wear uncomfy baggies ever anyway.
Well, yeah. No, that's a dumb question, man.
So uncomfortable though.
Next question.
Bikes, RMG, road bike, mountain bike, or gravel bike. One bike forever. What would it be?
Even though I have dabbled and am really enjoying gravel, it's got to be road forever. I think I'm a bit of a traditionalist. I love the road. I love road bikes. Road bikes. I don't even think I'd know how to ride a mountain bike, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
You like it?
That's what everyone tells me, but I don't think I have the capacity to learn.
We're just sitting here, so I didn't say to everyone, we've moved out of the market. We're sort of grabbing a quick coffee on the edge of the market here. Pretty nice day here in Adelaide today, isn't it?
It's really nice. It's like mid-20s.
The race is on right now. We're missing it actually.
I think we'll catch the end of it though, which is the best bit. But yeah, the market. We're sort of just on the outskirts of the market now. But it's.
What's your opinion of Adelaide, Tour Down Under, The whole shebang.
I mean,
should people travel interstate, internationally to come?
I mean, look, I think I'd be really criticized to say no, but I think it's a really cool event. I think Adelaide is almost like a big country town, and that has its pros. I think it's like,
which are?
Well, everything's relatively close in terms of proximity.
It's pretty easy to get around.
Real easy to get around.
Yeah, it's still got a city vibe.
Totally, you get the best of both. You get and the grid. The grid is relatable to Melbourne as well.
What's the negatives then?
The negs. I think that, look, the drivers can be a bit hit and miss on the roads.
Big grandpa-y.
Yeah, a little. What's the word? Yeah, no. I mean, like, just a little bit of abuse out riding.
Not like Melbourne. Melbourne City is beautiful.
No, I've never copped anything. Never copped anything in Melbourne. No, look, on a whole, I would definitely recommend. It's a really cool event. It's just It's actually just an easy city. It's an easy one to do. I mean, shit, the bike community is pretty small. Like, so many recognizable faces, and yeah, almost like
it's a good catch up.
A lot of nostalgia, a lot of throwbacks, and a big catch up. So, and sick riding too. You're in the hills in 2 seconds.
Do you have a Strava account?
No, I think I actually rode next to a coach recently, and he was like, "Oh man, you'd be a nightmare to coach," and. So I don't have a coach.
You are old school. You got no speedo. I actually completely forgot about that. I didn't even need to ask you that question. Clearly don't hunt comms. You'd be good at hunting comms though.
I like to think that I have a few unofficial comms. Like, there are definitely...
Mate, everyone likes to think that.
No, I've
got heaps of unofficials out there.
Yeah,
hundreds.
Well, I've definitely ridden with people who have got comms and been ahead of them. So let's put it that way.
On the hunt.
Yeah, on the hunt.
Yeah,
and I'm like, all right. No, I'm a raw dog guy.
It's like seeing a bird over there. It's like, if I had a gun, I could easily kill that.
Yeah. No, I kind of I'm really grateful to have not fallen victim to comm hunting. I prefer to try and win a race, which is difficult enough, but no Strava.
Favorite loop? That one loop out there that you love, it's something that's got something for you. People need to go and do it. Explain the loop. Someone out there is going to know where you're talking about. Run us through your favorite riding loop.
I would have to say very close to home in Melbourne, the Q Boulevard. Yeah,
just riding up and down the Q Boulevard.
I think it's like, 2-3 k's from the city, next to the Yarra Bend and the Studley Park. What do you call it? Like the Studley Park.
Boathouse.
The boathouse. It's essentially like a 13k up and back loop, no traffic lights, undulating. And I think in the middle of a city, that's a pretty amazing...
It's a really good call, mate.
Amazing road. And I have, I've literally spent... I've done a 24-hour ride on the Q Boulevard before. That's how much I love that road.
That was actually an amazing adventure. Why'd you do that again?
It was the first anniversary of my brother's passing, and it was also a COVID year, and we effectively couldn't ride further than 5k away from our house. The idea was to do something epic. Either we wanted to run a race, which now exists, but yeah, I wanted to do something epic, and basically hadn't touched a bike in 6 weeks, and I just used the old mental training to get me across the line. But it rained for about 12 hours. There was funny that it was the public toilet was closed. It was all locked up because of COVID.
Oh,
so I had to get pretty creative, just like yourself, on our ride up to Adelaide, on how to go to the toilet. But yeah, it was a real interesting. Those early hours are the most interesting. I'd say from 1 a.m. till 4.
Saw some funny stuff.
Saw some very funny things.
A rider comes towards you. What's your gesture?
Acknowledge always.
What? Head nod or just a little wink? You just do like a tiny wink.
I like to
So
do.
he saw that.
Even the eyes, a little bit of eye lift, like
eyebrow up.
yeah, like that can be enough. I think as long as there's
No hands off the bar.
I mean,
Finger,
look,
little finger off the hood.
I'm not picky with that stuff. I think as long as there is an acknowledgement, it's fine, and it can be just acknowledgement of the eyeballs.
Nice.
But if I know someone, I'll
Hand and name.
yeah. Bit of an eye.
You see, hey, Kez, how you going, buddy?
Yeah.
Good to see you, mate. Have a good day at work.
Yeah, I got to go a bit faster than you, man. I'll see you later. No, I'm a waver. I mean, look, sometimes when you're in the state and you're just in your groove, I might have missed someone along the way, so I apologise if I have.
Best bike of all time. What's that one bike out there? You've had many bikes over your time riding. What's that one bike that you just love?
Colnago C40.
Oh,
I think. I have a.
You still got that?
No, I mean
you raced on that as a young guy, didn't you?
I did. I think it was the first carbon bike that I rode, and it was pretty flash at the time. Still is. I think it's now. Obviously it's a collector's piece now.
Still rides so good now. Those bikes.
They're just timeless.
Yeah.
Colnagos are timeless. The C40. I know our friend Will Walker has a mint. I think it's the Lombre edition of the C40. And
the Rabo one,
or the Rabo one.
Yeah.
It's one or the other. But I'm a sucker for Colnago.
They're just
a sucker for Colnago.
I love the fact that because most people speak about that stuff, not many have actually ridden, race on their bike. Like I love the C42, but I never rode on one. It's just like an old bike that I got later on.
Yeah.
But you actually used it for its purpose.
In its peak.
Yeah, in its peak.
Yeah. That with Campy record. I mean, some iteration of Campy.
They got to go the combo.
Classic.
Yeah.
Classic.
Culture. Favorite race.
Favorite race that I can contest would be, again, close to my favorite ride. Wednesday Teardrop Criterium.
Oh, the Teardrop gets a shout out.
Yeah, big Teardrop, run by Hawthorn Cycling Club. It's sort of like it's run every Wednesday eve, and I reckon a lot of people in Melbourne would probably feel the same. And a race that I couldn't do that I love to watch would be the Giro. I think I'm always
most beautiful race in the world, they say.
Well,
until you've done it.
I mean, you can speak on this actually. I think watching it is serious spectacle, and recently it's like watching the breakaway try and get away is like it's the best thing because it's also early, so like we have to watch races in the wee hours of the morning. So if you get some good action from like 10 p.m, you're like, this is sick. Yeah, so I would say the Giro. I'm part Italian too, so a little patriotic.
Favorite rider of all time?
Would have been mentioned, said over and over. I think it's always been Pantani and Ulrich for me. I find it really hard to choose one right now. Can I go?
That's
can
a
I
really
go
good
double?
shout. Yeah, double. If you'll squeeze a second in.
The Pantani Ulrich.
Oh,
yeah.
I'll let you do that double.
Okay.
It's a good combo.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Favorite rider right now?
I mean, again, obvious. I think Pogacar.
Nice. Why?
Just so dynamic, exciting, kind of. Look, I wasn't around when Merckx was racing, but I imagine that's what it was like to watch Eddie Merckx. Just versatile. Look, he won Tour of Flanders last year, and he's contesting Grand Tours, and I don't know, just a real racer. I think that's like and look, I've never met the guy, but seems like a nice guy. I'd love to have a little espresso and pick his brain. But yeah, I think the Pog.
Nice, I like it. War story, mate. That one day that was just got out of hand. Things got a bit messy on the bike. One day, I'm sure you've just sort of conjuring it up right now. War story. What's that one day you're just like, that bloody day? Let me tell you about it.
Look, maybe we just had that day like 7 days ago.
Just created a new one.
Our final day riding into Adelaide. I think the heat. I was had serious heat stroke.
Tell us then, what day was it? The last day coming in.
We rode from Keith into Adelaide. It was just over 310 or so Ks. I think I was just keeping it together as well as possible, but I couldn't, on those gravel roads, the white gravel, or the sort of, and it was just, the glare was insane. I don't wear glasses, so, I know it's my fault, but I was like, I had to close my eyes for like 3 or 4 seconds and then open them just to make sure I didn't crash. And I just did that for ages. And I didn't tell you. I was just like, all right, just get through this next section.
Didn't end there though, did it?
Nah, it was it was really, look, it was, I've had a few days that actually, one that just comes to mind was a day we went to do Omeo Return.
Wow.
Up in Bright. From Bright, and it's a big, I think, it's a big day. It's, let's call it 200, but it's a lot of climbing.
You go straight up over Hotham, so it's 30k climb up.
And then the descent into Omeo is the ride back up to Hotham from Omeo is brutal.
I'm going to only hope that you had a tailwind up there.
Man, that was the least of my worries. It was so cold, and I was with some friends, and we were just, typical, doing the PM shift, just toying with daylight, etc. And it got really cold, and I was pushing some of them up the hill. And I remember having this thought. We're still 10k from the top of Hotham, and had to go down.
Still 10k on a climb, which is ages.
And it was so cold, and
it's going to get colder.
I was uphill. I was shivering, and I'm like, oh my god, I don't know. I don't think I can go down. I think I'm really in trouble here, and I started to panic, and I had that. I think everyone has had that moment where you're like, oh shit, I've actually cooked this one. Somehow, miraculously, friends that I was staying with had the good sense to drive up and check on us.
Oh,
and
no contact. They just randomly drove up
at all. And I got in the car and I passed out. I remember that.
You wouldn't have made it.
No, I wouldn't have made it. I was screwed. But
why wouldn't you have just tried to stay at Hotham then?
I would have got creative with that. I would have knocked on a few doors. No regrets though. Always, never any regrets.
We're just having espresso, like I said. So let's talk a little bit about you. And the first question is, what coffee do you drink?
Only espressos.
Single, double, triple, quad?
All of the above, depending on the context. Most commonly double espresso.
Straight up in the morning.
Times 2.
Doppio.
Doppio times doppio.
Nice. I like it. How's the order go down?
Places that I go to, they see that I'm coming and they know what to do.
Start grinding.
Yeah, that's it.
BWS, beer, wine or spirits. One, what's your poison?
Look, I would say it'd have to be beer, just the quenching element of beer. But all context, a good wine is next level, nothing to talk about. But I'd say the beer is the more constant of the and the spirits. Nothing.
You're not going to just get home, pull the vodka out of the freezer, take a shot.
A bit of ouzo, a grappa.
Get into ouzo.
Yeah, grappa ouzo. I do that actually.
When do you have grappa?
Actually, had a period where this is going to sound bad, I have some sort of drinking problem, but I would occasionally have it in the morning with
coffee.
My coffee, yeah.
You're full ai.
Yeah, I'm thank you. No, I would do that. Yeah, and it was just a little extra, little booster, extra little booster. I think working in kitchens has really corrupted my diet and my everything. So you do what you have to do to get through the day. But yeah, that's my combo. But I had a thought before.
BWS, beer. Was it beer?
No,
or was it wine,
I was thinking
or
about
spirits.
Oh no, it's beer. It's beer. But I had a question for you. The eggs. Would you go boiled, poached, or fried?
One soul forever.
Forever.
Probably poached.
Really? Forever.
Well, I'd probably eat
gooey.
No, I'd probably eat
watery,
more boiled.
Yeah.
Actually, so boiled probably because you can do more with boiled.
Yeah.
So you never just determine what amount of boilage because you can essentially do it. You can do essentially a poach with a semi-soft boil. Crack her open,
precisely.
Chuck it on the toast,
precisely.
Or you can just do the full hard, grey it.
I don't mind the grey. I'm a fan of the grey.
But
anyway,
26-minute boil.
Man, just set and forget. Just come back and be like, make sure you haven't burned the house down. That's all.
CCC, cheese, chocolate, or cake?
Oh man, this is a really hard one, but definitely chocolate. Cheese isn't chocolate, but chocolate. I think my friends will laugh at this question because they're like, I've never seen anyone eat chocolate like you. Like I eat it and cheese for that matter. I'll eat it like an apple, you know. Like get rid of these little 30-gram portions at restaurants. When I see the cheese, I'm like, this is dumb. Give me the wheel.
What's chocolate then? Are you doing like the full dark, like 99.9% cocoa?
Look, I'm
dirt stuff.
I lean. I don't do the dirt, but I lean on the dark.
Okay.
I lean dark, and there's just a lot of 70% action around. So I'd say around that mark, like a 68, 70.
Once you go 99, you go back to 70. It's like
it's like having milk chocolate.
It's like having a block of sugar, isn't it?
Yeah. Look, I've dabbled in 90, 95 for a bit, but I was just kidding myself. I really wanted.
It's too bitter.
It's just too bitter.
Do you have a cross-training exercise? Anything else you do than ride?
Gym a lot. I've always played different sports. Played soccer for many years, tennis. Not to sound arrogant, but I was good at lots of different sports, so I played heaps of different sports, and I eventually had to pick something. But yeah, I love doing other stuff. I tried running, but I think I fit the classic story of just overdoing it too quickly and then injuring myself. But I think moving forward, gym and Pilates, I would say. Gym and Pilates.
Best on-bike food?
Interesting.
Doesn't have to be like whatever.
All right, I would say that, there was a period where we would take like roasted potatoes in a bit of foil, just heaps of like salt and oil, just from like the dinner the night before.
Would you cut the potato and put the oil and salt in the middle, or would you just...
I'm talking like the leftovers kind of thing from like, a roast or whatever. So
you got like wedged potatoes.
Yeah, it's cut, salty, fatty. I think that's
chuck it in a foil.
And in the foil, and if you're sweating a lot, you got a little bit of heat through there too.
The body microwave.
I would say that, and then my favorite combo of when I'm pretty buckled would be chalky milk or a Snickers and a Coke. That's winning.
Best pre-race meal. That one meal you're like, yeah, I need this. This is going to set me up perfect for the race.
Interesting.
But you like?
I honestly mix it up all the time, but I would say like...
What should go to?
All right, early morning I do porridge, some fruit. I don't torture myself. I'll put some spice in there too, and actually enjoy it. Yeah. Porridge, I would say, funnily enough, I find like pasta can make me feel a bit too bloated. So some sort of rice concoction, rice, even some like broccoli, that kind of vibe. I'm into that
sort of like risotto-y stew thing, or
I would do that. But if I'm taking my race really serious, I'd probably go rice, some broccoli, maybe some tuna, just to that kind of food. Just stew it all up. Yeah, something like that.
Last one, mate. What's the best thing about riding a bike for you? You've done it over these years. You had some time away, but you got drawn back. It drew you back. Why do you love riding a bike?
Probably a cliche, but just a meditative process. Moving forward, I hope to ride my bike to connect with people, to travel. I think that's been like a really cool thing to happen to me. Is like, I'm here because of we rode over and I'm on this holiday because of that. I think it just, I met my fiance because I rode up to Byron, and I think that travel aspect. But cycling is just I think I've got the lifelong bug, and I'm glad I found it.
Awesome, mate. Thanks for coming on the pod.
Thanks, Mitchie.
Thanks for the trip. Cheers, mate.
Ciao.
Well, there we have it, guys. Talking Luft, another great one. I love talking with Pat. I love travelling with him across Adelaide. Lots of fun. Good to reconnect with him over those 30-something hours. Plus head down to the markets and grab some food and just sort of hang out in Adelaide. It was really cool over there, really busy. A big thanks goes out to our partner, MAAP, who are putting this project together with us this year. We're exploring these different adventures and bringing you all these great stories. Love working with them on and off the bike as well. The Life in the Peloton team doing amazing work behind the scenes to bring you these episodes too. Guys, like I said at the start of the app, if you're not a Pelo member, I don't know what you're doing, get across and sign up because that episode is dropping this Friday. Plus, there's a lot more stuff as well. Go across, have a read, check it out yourself, and then sign up as well too. Until next week, guys, if you're seeing me on Friday, have a listen to that in the Pelo. Take it easy. I'm Mitch Docker. Cheers. That iconic music in this episode was composed by none other than the legend, Pete Shelley. Cheers, mate.